Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. These are the headlines for news on the 18th of March in 2020. Italy's coronavirus death toll surges past 2,500. Malaysia has the highest number of COVID-19 cases in all of Southeast Asia. Thousands of people crammed in to watch a stereophonic string, run half marathons and gather for bad cross this weekend despite growing coronavirus fears. In the United States, coronavirus hits all 50 U.S. states as death toll rises. Death toll from COVID-19 rises as NJ imposes statewide restrictions, closes schools.
The COVID-19 updating on 18th of March 2020. The 2019 novel coronavirus, officially named as COVID-19 by the World Health Organization, has spread to more than 160 countries, including China, prompting the World Health Organization to declare the disease as a global pandemic. Confirmed novel coronavirus cases have crossed 198,178. With more than 7,954 deaths have been reported across the world as Europe becomes the new epicenter of coronavirus. More than 50% of the global COVID-19 cases are currently outside China. South Korea reports 93 new cases. The Korea Center for Disease Control and Prevention reported 93 new cases to total 8,413. This is the fourth consecutive report of fewer than 100 new cases. The deaths in Italy over 2,000 people. The number of cases in India reached 149. First death, new cases in Pakistan. With new cases reported on Monday and Tuesday, the number of cases in Pakistan reached 236.
Action to stop coronavirus, which limits civil liberties, is acceptable but only in short term, human rights experts warn.
As COVID-19 spreads, an increasing number of countries are declaring unprecedented border closures and restrictions on the citizens' free movement, with European governments introducing measures unheard of in peacetime. Nearly 200,000 people have contracted the infections worldwide. Of these, more than 7,000 have died, as nearly 80,000 recovered. On Tuesday, European Union leaders agreed to close the blocked borders for 30 days. It will be down to European countries to implement the closure of their borders to citizens from third countries, said the European Commission's president. All 445 million citizens and residents of the EU now live under some degree of movement restrictions. On Tuesday, France became the last European country after Italy and Spain to start a 50-day lockdown, deploying 100,000 police officers and setting up checkpoints across the country. Italy, now the most affected country after China, with more than 2,000 deaths concentrated in the northern regions, last week imposed a total lockdown, closing all bars and shops, with the exception of grocery stores and pharmacies.
Malaysia recorded its first two fatalities in the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic today, while new cases rose by 120, raising the tally infections in the country to 673.
The first fatality was a 34-year-old man from Johor who attended the tabloid event at the mosque here. From the 27th of February to the 1st of March, he developed a fever on the 5th of March and died today. The second disease was a 60-year-old pastor. The pastor, who had an underlying health condition, died at 11 a.m. today. Meanwhile, of the 120 new positive COVID-19 cases detected today, 95 are linked to the three-petal mosque tabloid cluster. Malaysia has by far the highest number of COVID-19 cases in all of Southeast Asia.
As the country prepares for significant shutdowns of mass gatherings and the case of the killer bunk churches, Britons still pack into large crowds on Saturday and Sunday.
On Saturday, thousands poured into Multiport Arena to watch the Stereophonics. But today, thousands of Britons are working from home over virus fears. Many people on social media slam the fact the drink went ahead as fears grow over the danger of mingling with possibly infected people.
Since the first U.S. case of the coronavirus was identified in Washington state on the 21st of January, health officers have identified thousands of cases across the United States. By the 18th of March, the virus had expanded its presence from several isolated clusters in Washington, New York, and California to all 50 states and the District of Columbia with 6,496 cases. To date, there have been over 100 deaths across the country. The deadly coronavirus has now hit all 50 states in the U.S. as West Virginia reported its first case of the infection on Tuesday.
New York City said it was considering a lockdown similar to one in the San Francisco Bay Area. There have so far been 108 deaths in the U.S. from coronavirus and more than 6,300 confirmed cases nationwide. Globally, there are about 200,000 cases and nearly 8,000 people have died.
A third individual has died of coronavirus in New Jersey. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy has announced statewide restrictions beginning the 8 p.m.
Monday that will severely limit business operations and discourage individual travel in an extraordinary effort to slow the spread of the novel coronavirus. The Democrats also announced that all schools in the state would close indefinitely starting Wednesday, including public, private, and parochial schools, from grades pre-K to 12, as well as all colleges and universities. On Monday afternoon, President Trump updated that guidance to say Americans should not gather in groups of more than 10 people, consistent with the guidelines in place Monday morning. Murphy banned all gatherings above 50 people and said that during the day, non-essential businesses will be allowed to remain open only if they limit occupancies to 50 people or fewer.
There are many ways for you to protect yourself and others from getting coronavirus.
Avoid close contact when you are experiencing cough and fever. Avoid spitting in public. If you have fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek medical care early and share previous travel history with your health care provider. Wash your hands. Wash your hands with soap and running water when hands are visibly dirty. If your hands are not visibly dirty, frequently clean them by using alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. Protect yourself and others from getting sick. Wash your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, after handling animals or animal waste. When coughing and sneezing, cover mouth and nose with flexed elbow or tissue, and throw tissues into closed bin immediately after use. Clean hands with alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water after coughing or sneezing, and when caring for the sick. And remember, be kind to support loved ones during coronavirus. Check in regularly, especially with those affected. Encourage them to keep doing what they enjoy. Share WHO information to manage anxieties. Provide calm and correct advice for your children.
If you need more information in how to protect yourself from the coronavirus, check on the website at who.int. Wish everyone always be healthy and happy. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.